The digital dollar, also known as CBDC, or America's central bank digital currency, has just undergone a pilot program from the Federal Reserve. The dystopian future has arrived, and if the trial program succeeds, you can kiss your freedom goodbye. They've teamed up with financial behemoths like HSBC, MasterCard, and Wells Fargo to make it happen. Because that's what we've been doing. Implementing centralized, government-controlled digital money terrifies me. This has been promoted by Maxine Waters, who said that we need to do it to compete with China, which is absurd. Comparable to claiming we require communism to compete with communists, since that is what it is. You must be a communist if you want to compete with them. The state's plan to centralize digital currency and link it to a system of social credit scores is alarming. I disagree with what was mentioned regarding the Joe Rogan experience and Tulsi Gabbard. If they were linked to a social credit score system, flying, traveling, and gas purchases are no longer possible, which is what people do in China. You might assume a digital dollar is roughly equivalent to cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, when you first hear about it. But nothing could be further from the truth. With cryptocurrencies, you have a transparent, decentralized currency that is not under the control of one person. You have the exact opposite of what the digital dollar represents. Every piece of money you spend has a government contract attached, and their ultimate goal is clear: to put you, your family, and your freedom at the mercy of the government. They want to create programmable money that will enable them to prevent you from purchasing a plane ticket, gas, or food if you're not an obedient citizen. Spending your money on whatever you want and enjoying economic independence will be a thing of the past if the digital dollar is made programmable. The government can program your money to prevent you from spending any money on items they deem wrong. To comprehend the dangers of programmable money, you must understand how the present financial system functions. In this example, the Federal Reserve Bank of America is the intermediary between you and your friend's bank when you send your buddy $100 as a birthday gift. You keep your money at Bank A, while your friend has an account at Bank B. A transaction record is stored in your bank's ledger, while another version is kept in the ledger of the Federal Reserve. The transaction is also noted in the bank ledger of your acquaintance. Each bank has its ledger, yet the system is flawless. If you try to mail $100 somewhere, the chances of your money becoming misplaced are slim. Therefore, if the current financial system were perfect, hundreds of billions of dollars would travel from bank to bank daily. What drives the government's desire to alter it? When something is not broken, why strive to fix it? Control, in a word. You see, this system is seriously flawed in the view of the puppet masters. Because it doesn't give them any control, it is seriously flawed. They have no power over your friend's purchasing decisions. Yes, if they have good enough reason, they can freeze your account, but they have no control over whether your friend can utilize the $100 they provided him. They can't agree on whether he gets the ATM withdrawal, because it would cost too much to spend on clothes, drink, or a hotel room. The only control the government currently has over your money is a total or partial freeze. There needs to be a middle ground, but all of that will change once there is a digital dollar. With a digital dollar in place of a bank, banks A, B, and the Federal Reserve will share a single ledger on a blockchain, so the outcome will be functionally equivalent to the current system when you transmit $100 from Bank A to your friend at Bank B. But there is a difference. Each government will have sole control over its ledger. Like when you produce an NFT, and you may determine how much commission the artist gets every time an NFT is resold, everything will be brought into a single blockchain that the government regulates. The government will be able to impose any limitations or requirements on what you can do with your money thanks to the same functionality. Sounds a little bit unrealistic? You could consider giving your children pocket money, but program it such that it couldn't be used for sweets, according to the Deputy Governor of the Bank of England. The government will program your money so you can't purchase sweets with it if we allow it to adopt a digital currency. They won't probably restrict literal sweets. However, if Elon Musk enraged them enough, they might stop you from purchasing alcohol, a gas automobile, and an electric car from Tesla. They might forbid you from buying whatever the masters judged unfit. Who knows, perhaps they'll outlaw sweets. Governments would then have the authority to pick and choose which enterprises live and die. Yes, the same people who deceived us into entering a war for oil can perpetuate atrocity after atrocity following the misery that we have already spent our money on. Wasteful spending will soon have control over what we can and cannot purchase. And it's not just America where this is taking place. No, no, no. Digital currencies issued by central banks are spreading around the world. For quite some time, the World Economic Forum has urged governments worldwide to develop central bank digital currencies and digital IDs. Their fundamental claim is that more must be done to punish the hate speech and extremism on social media effectively. We need to strengthen our financial system in a crisis, such as a natural disaster or the next pandemic. We have to take action to reduce and better manage our carbon footprint. It's perhaps our spiciest one yet, on who makes money by promoting climate change. For our economy to be stable, we need digital currencies from central banks. Additionally, you will find it to be convenient. Klaus Schwab and a WEF psychiatrist have been highly persuasive. More than 100 governments are presently investigating or developing central bank digital currencies. Other nations are far behind China, which has already started working on a pilot project for the Digital Yuan, directly linked to its social credit system. Brazil expects to see a digital version of its currency around 2024, while India's central bank has already started rolling out a digital version of the rupee, and the European Union joined the party in July 2021 when the European Central Bank began the investigation phase for the digital euro. The digital euro would not have completed anonymity because this would raise worries about the possibility of the digital euro being used for illegal activities. All 27 European nations might adopt the digital euro as of 2026, which is just 3 years away. Suppose you post something controversial on social media, or participate in a protest against a lockdown, for example. In that case, the government could contact the bank where you have an account and order them to freeze your funds. Then, they could get any of your other banks and call them to do the same. But that's not a very efficient or clean method. We require a device that can be activated instantly. Mary is no longer able to buy groceries. Sorry, you can't take a bus, train, or aeroplane for the rest of the year because you consumed 10 servings of meat the previous month. We hope you loved it, because from now on, the most you may spend on fast food meat is $20 every month. This level of effectiveness is not achievable at this time. More than 22 million times in 2018, Chinese individuals were prohibited from purchasing rail or aircraft tickets due to poor social media credit ratings. If you're disobedient, the Chinese government may even prevent you from buying luxury, as was the case for many citizens who were prohibited from purchasing business-class train tickets or making reservations at the best hotels. You and your children risk losing out on top school jobs if you don't make your bill payments on time. Similar to how 17 people were prevented from enrolling in high schools or colleges in 2017 after refusing to serve in the military, or how a university student was expelled in 2018 due to his father's low social credit score. There is a point system for dog ownership as well. You risk having your dog taken away if you don't control it while it's on a leash and not working. Following a court's determination that Laura's apology was not sincere, those who lost all their points had their dogs confiscated and had to take a test on regulations required for pet ownership. The attorney applied for credit cards and public transportation in China and was on a list and prohibited from purchasing airline tickets. You can judge for yourself by listening.
Dear passengers, people who travel without tickets or behave disorderly or smoke in public areas will be punished according to regulations, and the behavior will be recorded in the individual credit information system. To avoid any negative record of personal credit, please follow the relevant regulations and help with the orders on the train and at the station.
To prevent any unfavorable marks on the personal credit, those who travel without tickets will be punished following the law, and their behavior will be documented in individual credit information systems. please abide by the applicable laws supporting administration and the retro-sounding trend. This warning about what would happen if you disobeyed is posted on a Chinese bullet train. The CCP is now experimenting with many more penalties as well. Consider China to be a warning. This is a warning about Western governments' motivation behind the adoption of CBDCs. The logical outcome of a central bank digital currency will be that we can now better manage citizens' spending. To assign someone to a social credit score, we need to. How else will we choose who to limit and who to accept? The world is already under American sway, even without digital money. Adopting the digital dollar will facilitate the American enslavement of its people. After researching money and taking power for the past few years, I discovered something startling. Developing nations undertake all the labor-intensive tasks, while America and the West get to lie back, do nothing, and amass all the wealth. Asia, Africa, and South America perform all the manufacturing, farming, and hard labor. Because the West, the United States, and large businesses have discovered a method to enslave the rest of the globe and force it to perform labors of love. However, we're not referring to the kind of slavery that involved whips and chains. What we're discussing is a much more advanced type of slavery. Financial servitude globalization and offshore are shackling nations in debt and making money printing into a form of enslavement. The primary strategy employed by the most powerful institutions in the world to achieve success is economic slavery, and you must comprehend this if you want to succeed and have influence. So what's your take on this? Do you think the digital dollar is just the beginning of a total top-down societal control? What else do you think they have in store for us? Let me know down in the comments below, and check out one of these other videos. This has been Mr. Singularity, and I'll see you in the next one.